Now I'm very happy to join the next session with you, how to optimize the creation and monetization of fashion lifestyle content through AI and visual search. So we are back to the big subject. And I'm now introducing to you Jenny Griffiths. She's the founder of SnapTech, and she explains now how the power of visual search can unlock the hidden monetization potential. Glad to have you here. It's your stage.
Thank you. So, hi everyone. I'm Jenny, and I'm the founder and CEO of SnapTech. And hopefully I win the award today for the longest possible job title for a presentation. So I apologize for how full of jargon that is. So today I'll explain a bit about my background, what my company does, and also kind of broaden it out to the wider context of how you can begin to monetize content more effectively through the use of AI. So my background is I'm a computer scientist. I always feel like I'm admitting I'm an alcoholic when I say that, but I am a computer scientist. I studied computer science at university here in the UK around 10 years ago now, and I got really obsessed by the idea of visual search. So when I was doing my degree, it was the year that the iPod Touch came out, so showing my age a little bit there. But suddenly, all my friends had these things in their pocket. And we were looking at them thinking, these are the most powerful sensors that we've had in our pockets, and we're basically using them to take selfies. Isn't that a waste? And then I was thinking about how I use my phone myself, and I realized I was spending hours typing on these tiny keyboards looking for things when I had this really, really powerful sensor, the camera, in my hand. So I ended up looking into visual search, which is a field of computer science which is all around how can you enable a computer to see in a way that a human sees. And we're really, really lucky. We have this amazing brain. Even if I'm not bright once in a while, we do have this amazing capability to understand the world around us. And to a computer, that's just a bunch of pixels. So all of what I do and everything I'm obsessed by is how on earth we can give computers this kind of contextual information and help them make decisions around how to monetize things. So the mission of my company, SnapTech, is basically just to deliver the most effective way of searching for things online. I don't really mind if it's visual search, if it's AI, if it's powered by people, just how can you get someone from A to B as quickly as humanly possible, and how can you use that editorial that you guys are creating and spending thousands of pounds a year creating to to convert more effectively. So this is my plug. We have a lot of retailers on our platform. We've got about 250 retailers, everyone from the kind of lower ends, kind of the top shops, the new look, right up to the kind of Burberry's, Harrods, Selfridges. And we power visual search for a lot of people. The most relevant probably for this conversation is Time Inc. So we power visual search for the likes of InStyle magazine, Marie Claire, Look magazine. And throughout this presentation, I'll kind of show you the work that we've been doing with them and the actual impact that the business has seen on the back of it. So, my belief is a bit of a bold one. I'm obviously going to defend myself as a computer scientist, but we're not evil. And what we're trying to create is a set of tools which is actually a publisher's best friend, rather than something that's going to take jobs away from publishers. And this is something that I always struggle with personally when I walk into a meeting room. When you pitch AI to editors, they obviously get quite nervous and say, hey, this is my job, this is what I'm great at, I know that I can do this better than a computer. And they're absolutely right. The thing is, they're spending a lot of time, and I'll talk you through it later, doing jobs that they are way too qualified to be doing, like saving images, giving images names, trying to source images. If you can take out all of that and let editors focus on what they do really, really well, is when publishers begin to see benefits and where editors get more job satisfaction and actually where monetization goes up. So, the title of the talk was how to optimize the creation and monetization through AI and visual search. I'll focus on the first one first. So this is around the creation of content. So this is where it gets a bit more fun, and I stop talking at you constantly. So this is what we're doing with people like InStyle magazine. So let's imagine you're an editor. We've basically got a little bookmark which sits right up there, top left-hand corner of the bookmark bar, and that's the Snap It button. And it basically lets you grab any image off any website. So it could be user-generated content. It could be something you've seen on Getty when you've got the Getty license. Or it could just be something you've already written about. So you basically click on that item. That drags it through to our side. And you say which bit of the content you're interested in. So in this case, the trousers. So you draw a box around that image, and it quickly brings back everything that's similar. So we try to return around 30 to 50 results, because obviously the editors know best around what their readers actually want to see. Also, if you've got things like advertising packages in with certain brands, you obviously don't want to promote all their competitors and all that good stuff. So then an editor can create a collection. They go around, they say, hey, those trousers are kind of cool. They add it to the collection. And they do this kind of 3 or 4 times. So we basically bring back everything from around 16,000 brands. So it very quickly curates for them what we think they'll be interested in. So in this case, they've picked 4 pairs of trousers. They click on the collection. It's just there. And then they can generate a code to embed into their website. This is all JavaScript, HTML. We've also got a WordPress widget. I won't bore you with it, but basically that's all you need to be able to create this widget. And that's basically how they embed content that's shoppable. So I'll show you what that looks like from a user's perspective on the next slide. But what we've done is we've taken that process of what they normally do is they have like tabs from every single retailer open. They have to go between the different tabs, manually search for something similar. Creating a piece of Get the Look editorial takes 4 to 5 hours, depending on how accomplished the editor is, but that's kind of the average. We've brought that down, as you can see, to 40 seconds. And this is something, once again, you're not taking away the bit of the job that the editor loves. You couldn't possibly say you went to university to study literature to then source items online. It's all about how you can give those tools to an editor to let them do their job quicker around the things they don't like and let them focus on writing the content, which is what they do really, really well. So what does this actually look like in practice? And this is Marie Claire magazine in the UK. So this is the wonderful Meghan Markle, who is basically monetizing Marie Claire at the moment. Happy days. Someone's already taken her coat, and they've produced the widget that I just showed you earlier. And this is what it looks like, that line of JavaScript to the user. So you can see you've got the editor's picks shown there. But let's say something's out of stock or it's out of their price range, so that Burberry coat was £2,000, I've only got 60. We can then show similar colour and similar shape. So we also let people hone in on what it was they loved about that item in the first place. So was it the fact that it was a white coat, which we'll never know, or was it a trench coat? And it kind of lets them decide which journey they want to take. So the nice news is it's converting really well. And this is from people viewing the article to actually converting and buying. So our conversion rate is anywhere between kind of 1.5 to 3.6%. It's a really, really wide bracket depending on the publication and the type of content. Meghan converts higher. Like I said, she's my new favourite person. And the most important thing is actually the time spent on site. So even though I'm obviously kind of in a career around affiliates, I don't believe that affiliate can truly change the bottom line of a publisher. You guys are in advertising. I think that's always going to be the case. So the metric that we really, really focus on is the user engagement and how long someone will dwell on your site. Because obviously, if they spend 100% longer, then you've got 100% more opportunities to sell more ad space. So that's really, really where we're focusing, is those 2 key metrics. So we did a really fun project the other week for the BAFTAs, which was probably the most stressful time in my life because it was a live event. We've never done that before. So what we did was we had a rig at the BAFTAs where you could kind of take photos of celebrities, and then on Instagram stories, they were posting those looks, and then you'd swipe up and you could get the look. So editors were curating these anywhere between kind of 5 to 10 minutes from taking that photo of someone on the red carpet to actually publishing. You can see here we've done our own curated looks, but then people can once again say, see everything similar, see similar colour, see similar shape. This is going to be my favourite stat probably ever. But we got 5% click-through rate from someone going on Instagram not expecting to shop at all to landing on a retailer's page. But for that particular post, we got 12% click-through. And this is a great example of putting content on relevant feeds as well. So Instagram was a really, really powerful way to distribute shopping content because it's kind of what people begin to expect. But if you put Instagram content on someone who they're a powerful fashion influencer and they have a very powerful fashion audience, that's where you really begin to see that uplift. So for instance, the 5% was on EE, which is a mobile provider. So kind of interesting, but they've got a lot of the demographic that isn't engaged with that kind of world. As soon as you pop this across onto a fashion influencer, you really, really see those metrics beginning to rise. The other thing that this did for our client in particular was also give visibility of what was happening across the UK in this instance. You could see that people in Manchester were buying this, people in London were buying this. So you begin to get all these kind of metrics around what it is that people are really interested in. So that's enough about content creation. I'm really looking forward to questions at the end, by the way. I don't want to bore you with stuff you don't want to know. But I'll talk to you a bit about that kind of longevity of monetization at this point. I've hinted at it a few times. But you guys have a lot of evergreen content. And the way that people are discovering content is changing relatively rapidly. But you're now being able to see kind of more people hitting that long tail of that evergreen content. So people discovering things through Pinterest or Twitter or something that was shared a year ago, which is still relevant today. And the way of monetization at the moment is all around these kind of text links of, I don't know, Versace sunglasses. You'll kind of click, you'll go through, they'll be out of stock because that was written a year ago and it's this week. So what we're focusing on doing here, and I'll show you this example again, is let's say you've produced these editor's picks, this was written 6 months ago. Someone clicks on that link, they go to shop now, and obviously it was 6 months ago, that lovely coat is now completely sold out. And in the past, that would have been the end of the journey. The user's frustrated, you guys haven't made any money. Instead, by saying, show me everything similar, it kind of pulls up this list and it goes, okay, the editor thought this was cool 6 months ago, but this is what's similar and in stock today. And the nice thing about having such breadth from retailers is that people are still making things that were in fashion 6 months ago and a year ago and even 2 years ago. So there's always an opportunity to be able to take that moment of interest and actually convert it into a sale. And the key here is making sure that everything that you always suggest is always in stock. So you can remove that kind of shop now button and always have this kind of see everything similar. And I should say as well that click-through rates on old content are exactly the same, and so are conversion rates. So something being old and out of stock really, really doesn't matter. It's just kind of a nice other opportunity to be able to monetize evergreen. And then this is something kind of crazy experimental that we did for Look magazine. But they came to us and they said, we kind of want to run a shop. And we've been doing this thing called the Look Fashion Drop, which has been really successful for us, which is every day the editors would say, here are our top 5 retailers and here's top 5 things that are in. So really nice and simple. People would go there and kind of get a grasp of what was new in today. So they wanted to extend that offering and say, hey, could we actually turn this into a proper e-commerce destination? So this is what we worked on with them. So if you go to Look magazine now, you can go to the fashion shop. So here is basically a nice version of the fashion drop where they could say they're promoting Topshop, you could buy it, you could see everything similar. They've picked which retailers they want to be a part of this walled garden, so they can kind of charge retailers to be a part of it, they can charge for that editorial space to be on that list, and also ultimately they know what kind of retailers will convert well for a Look magazine audience. If you go to browse, we've got this color wheel on the left. This video is so fast, I'm sorry. If you want to see cobalt, it'll bring back everything in that shade. You can say, I'm interested in that dress, show me everything similar. A bit like a Google text search, the further you go down the list, the less relevant items become. And you can also jump down and see shape. And this is my shameless plug. We're the only people in the world who do shape recognition. So this is the bit that I'm super proud of. So there you go. So that's what we've been kind of doing over the years. I don't want to bore you too much with my own company. I'm really looking forward to kind of hearing your questions. In summary, though, I'm a big believer in AI is there to help editors do what they do best. So it should be a really, really powerful toolkit to kind of give to your team to be able to let them focus on writing content rather than sourcing products. And the nice kind of way that everything is packaged, if you do it correctly, you can double the time that people are spending on your site, double that engagement, and also be a really, really powerful click tool. So thank you very much for your time, and looking forward to hearing all your questions.
Wow, that was a great speed dating.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are taking your questions from Laura, Olive Magazine, London.
Hey. Don't need to introduce myself. That was so inspiring, thank you. Does it apply to anything other than fashion? Could it be to kitchen products, say, that are relevant to my readership, or any other kind of genres?
Yeah, definitely. So kind of, I should have said our company's like 7 years old. We've always focused on fashion, but we've got 3 other verticals at the moment. So we're doing beauty and cosmetics, kind of seems like an obvious one, weddings, and then homewares is one of them, and kitchen's definitely a part of that as well. So, yeah.
Very last row. In the very last row, we have somebody, yeah.
Hi, Rowley from Resonance. We constantly hear in the publishing world that everyone's got to move to video. Is there a product pipeline to make video shoppable?
Yeah, definitely. So video, I'm standing
Maybe
near
a bit,
something.
yeah.
Sorry about this. So video is one of those things we're always looking at. I'm a big fan of not reinventing the wheel, and I think that other companies are actually doing video really nicely. I think the key to shoppable video, there's a company called Smartser, I think, who are doing really nicely, if you want to look them up. But it's about picking that kind of key frame, and then at that point, visual search can come in. So if you can analyze a video and say, actually, this is where, you can imagine with fashion content, you have people standing at weird angles, and you have like hair over their shoulders, and all those kind of things affect kind of how accurate something is. So if you can pick the frame, then you can apply normal visual search. That's kind of the key to video. So it's something that we're looking at, but I'm kind of waiting for someone to get that pipeline perfect for us. But
Thank you. Next question? Yeah, please. We have a mic. We have a mic right at the side.
Hi, sorry, can you hear me? It's Claude from Image Magazine in Dublin. Two questions. Number one, have you any examples of retailers that it's working really well for the likes of Marie Claire or Look? Maybe you could talk about.
yeah, definitely. So the bit of the pipeline I really focus on is kind of the publisher side. So like it's that dwell time and the conversion. From a retailer point of view, it varies so massively depending on the different publications. So for Marie Claire, it tends to be the kind of higher end retailers, anyone average basket size between about 100 to 150 pounds. So I think the example I showed were people like Whistles, kind of those kind of brands. For Look, it's all around the lower kind of end of the market. So the kind of high street brands, people like Topshop does really well. Marks and Spencer, Willie does well. So yeah, those kind of lower ends. So it gets a little bit stereotypical with the brands you're expecting to see convert well on certain platforms. Where it gets interesting is if you've got a super high-end magazine, like Marie Claire does sometimes kind of present itself quite high, and then they see that they're kind of converting at that kind of mid-range. And that's where it makes sense to have this is what the editor inspired you with, but actually this is what you can afford to buy, and presenting it that way a little bit more.
Great,
And
that actually answers.
second question?
Yeah, I suppose in terms of Look and the model you present there in the kind of fashion wall for the revenue model, basically, does the retailer, obviously they pay for the space for the native piece of content and to be in that kind of space itself, that environment, and then do you also get a cut through on the sale itself?
Yeah, so I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to talk
I know.
about Look, so I'll be a little bit shady, so I
Sure.
apologise for not
Percentages
answering
will do.
entirely. At the moment, retailers aren't paying to be a part of the platform, so it's very much, and we operate in the same way as if you want to be part of the platform, then it's free to reside on there. It's kind of up to them whether they want to monetize that bit or not. I'm kind of prodding them in that direction. And then it's a standard affiliate kind of scheme, so anywhere between kind of 5 to 15% depending on the retailer. And everything that we do is all through affiliate networks. So it's kind of, you don't need to negotiate any rates. And obviously, the more you get, kind of the better you can negotiate. So,
Great,
yeah.
okay, thank you.
Any other question? Coming back to the life experience you had, yeah, just recently. Do you think this is something you are going to do more? Like have life experience and really like monetize very quickly and go on speed with these, with your cells?
Yeah, I really, really hope so, actually, because it's one of those things that computers can do better than humans. Coming back to that kind of natural inherent skill set, is we can search over 500,000 items in under half a second. And that's just kind of a crazy thing to be sitting on and not doing anything with. So I think live content, video, like you mentioned, is really interesting. But this kind of new medium that's evolving around Snapchat and Instagram stories, I think is something that people are expecting to be able to get the look through Instagram now. So that's really something that we'll be pushing this year.
Very inspiring to listen to you. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
That's great.